Hello, I'm Father Joe Roesch of the Marian Fathers of the Immaculate Conception. Thank you for joining us as we continue with our year-long journey, reading the diary of St. Maria Faustina Kowalska from beginning to end. Today we take up from where we left off, beginning with diary entry number 1343. Third day. In the meditation on death, I prepared myself as if for real death. I examined my conscience and searched all my affairs at the approach of death, and thanks be to God, my affairs were directed toward that ultimate goal. This filled my heart with great gratitude to God, and I resolved to serve my God even more faithfully in the future. One thing alone is necessary, to put my old self to death and to begin a new life. In the morning, I prepared to receive Holy Communion as if it were to be the last in my life, and after Holy Communion, I brought before my imagination my actual death, and I said the prayers for the dying and then the De Profundis, for my own soul. My body was lowered into the grave, and I said to my soul, "See what has become of your body, a heap of dirt, teeming with vermin. That is your inheritance." O merciful God, who still allow me to live, give me strength that I may live a new life, a life of the Spirit, over which death has no dominion. And with that, my heart was renewed, and I began a new life while still here on earth, a life of love of God. Nevertheless, I do not forget that I am weakness itself, even though I do not doubt, even for a moment, that I will obtain the help of your grace, O God. Fourth day. O Jesus, I have been feeling extraordinarily well, close to your heart during this retreat. Nothing disturbs the depths of my peace. With one eye I gaze on the abyss of my misery, and with the other on the abyss of your mercy. During Holy Mass, which was celebrated by Father Roesch, I saw the infant Jesus, who, with hands outstretched towards us, was sitting in the chalice being used at Holy Mass. After gazing at me penetratingly, he spoke these words, "As you see me in this chalice, so I dwell in your heart." Holy Confession. After giving an account of my conscience, I was given the permissions I asked for, to wear the bracelet for half an hour every day during Holy Mass, and in times of difficulty, to wear the belt for 2 hours. Father said, "Sister, persevere in this great faithfulness to the Lord Jesus." Fifth day. When I entered the chapel this morning, I learned that Mother Superior has had some trouble on my account. This hurt me very much. After Holy Communion, I leaned my head on the most Sacred Heart of Jesus and said, "O my Lord, I beg you, let all the consolation that I am experiencing through your presence in my heart be poured out into the soul of my dear Mother Superior, who has had some trouble because of me, and this involuntarily on my part." Jesus comforted me, saying that both our souls had benefited from this, but I beg the Lord to deign to spare me from being the occasion of anyone's suffering, as my heart could not bear this. O white host, you preserve my soul in whiteness. I fear the day when I might forsake you. You are the bread of angels, and thus also the bread of virgins. Jesus, my most perfect model, with my eyes fixed on you, I will go through life in your footsteps, adapting nature to grace, according to your most holy will, and your light, which illumines my soul, trusting completely in your help. On the third day of the retreat, St. Faustina meditated on her own death, which would come in less than a year. She wanted to be prepared to meet the Lord. She asked for strength to live a new life, like a new baptism. She is aware of her weaknesses and of how much she needs God's graces. During Mass, St. Faustina saw the infant Jesus, who told her that he dwells in her heart. He wants to live in each of our hearts as well, if we make room for him. During her confession, Faustina received permission for some penitential practices, which she offered up for souls. On the 5th day of the retreat, St. Faustina learned that her Mother Superior had some trouble because of St. Faustina. This is probably related to spreading the message and the devotion to the Divine Mercy. These kinds of tasks are always difficult because the evil one doesn't want people to find out about God's great mercy and goodness, so obstacles crop up. Faustina asks that the consolations that she is being given during the retreat should go to her superior to console her from the difficulties. St. Faustina has a very tender heart. She is troubled that anyone would have to suffer on her behalf. And Jesus revealed that both Faustina and the Superior had grown spiritually because of these sufferings. Faustina prays that her purity may be preserved by Jesus, hidden in the white host of the Eucharist. And then Faustina writes that Jesus is her model. She adapts the circumstances of her life to his grace and his will for her.